Be love.
Be light.
Be peace.
Be life.
Be wrong.
Alright.
Be strong.
Be bold.
Be black.
Hey
Be gone.
y'all, what's going on? What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Whitney House. I am the CEO of The Creative Era, and today I wanted to start a new series called Insecure. And I feel like the reason I wanted to start this was because I feel like with social media in this day and age, of course we heard it all, like, you know, the fakes and the frauds, like, we get it, like, but I wanted to share what my insecurities are, so that way maybe, you know, you guys can relate to what your girl been feeling. So with this first series, I wanted to talk about me being a creator and how I feel in terms of my insecurities of being a creator. So continue to watch, and let's just dive right into this thing, you feel me?
Be love.
Be light.
Be peace.
Be life.
Be wrong.
Alright.
Be strong.
So some of the things that a lot of people tell me, like, Whitney, like, I love what you're doing, I love that you're so creative and all this good stuff, but at the end of the day, y'all, when I tell you your girl be so insecure, like, when I'm releasing a new product or releasing a new anything, I'm literally, the thoughts that's going through my mind is like, yo, Whitney, this joint ain't ish. Like, this joint is trash. Like, this whole project is trash. Like, that's literally what I'm going through as I'm creating. Because not only that, I'm a perfectionist, so when it comes down to that thing, when it comes down, listen, I am very meticulous about how I want certain things. So when I visualize certain things in my head, all I think about is this thing gonna come out right? Is this thing gonna be how I want it to? And so with my insecurities, a lot of my thoughts is very, like, all over the place. Like, sometimes people think that I just wake up and I have this creative flow. Like, I mean, there's times that it's very rare, but there's times when I just get up and I create. But majority of the time, your girl be out here just like I literally wait maybe a couple of months. Like, I gotta think about this, process this, especially if it's a new project. Like, your girl definitely has to, like, process everything, marinate in it, you know, drink a cup of coffee, you know, like, I really gotta get into it. So process in terms of, like, my insecurities is that, a prime example, over the last couple of weeks, I created this chair, right? And I'm gonna show it on the screen so that way you guys can see, you know, what I'm talking about. So with this chair, I've literally been wanting to create like a furniture piece for a really long time. I wanted to do it, and a part of me was like, Whitney, you got this, and the other part was like, girl, you bugging. Like, how you gonna create a whole chair? Like, is you crazy? So, you know, it was just two things. We had, you know how you have the little devils on one side, you got the angel on one side, and you got the devil on the other side. And so that was literally how the process was going. First I was like, you know what, Whitney, I think that may be a little too crazy to do. Like, you don't got the equipment, you don't got this, you don't got that. So I was just making excuses. But then the other side was like, girl, let's pull this thing together and let's get this joint on and pop. Let's get this joint on and popping. And so I was like, you know what, Whitney, you right. So the process of me, you know, going through this journey of creating this chair was getting the inspiration, getting the idea, getting like the motivation to even create. So I spent like almost like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before I actually created the chair. Like, I literally had to think about it, think about how it's going to be put together. But the great thing about me is that I can visually see everything before it comes to life. Okay, so as I'm thinking about the materials, I'm thinking about what part goes with what part. So, like, because of the chair was created out of pipe, so I had to like literally draw out every aspect of this chair. Like, I even went to Home Depot, like, was in there for like 3 hours just screwing on pieces. Like, I know a lot of men were in there like, girl, why are you in here, and like, what are you doing? Like, so I was like, all right, girl, like, all right. So I do all that extra stuff, but then, like, as I'm like creating it, it's almost like I go through this like this anxiety kind of moment where it's like I become very anxious. I become very like, what we gonna do? Is it gonna come out right? Is it gonna come out right? Is it gonna come out? It's like, so I go through all these like different like mindsets, and then at the end result, I'm like, wow, Whitney, like, you really did it. Like, pat yourself on the back. You really did it. So when it comes to insecurities as a creator, I can say that it is not an easy process. I know that when I show certain products or do certain products, it may look like your girl just woke up and created it. No, like, that is definitely not the case. And sometimes I wish it was, but at the same time, especially when it's a new product, and you guys know that I'm always creating something out of the box or something that's like very rare, so I literally have to like marinate in these thoughts for a really long time. So as a creator, if you guys can relate, please let me know. Drop a comment down below, because I know as a creator it's difficult. It's difficult to allow yourself to be vulnerable. For one, your girl gotta be vulnerable to put herself out there. That space of allowing people to see what I visually see in my head and allowing it to be tangible. Okay, so that's very difficult. Okay, the other step is, you know, what are people gonna like? Even though people say, oh, don't worry about what other people are thinking, but child, listen, that is, in some cases, that is a lie. Like, as me being a creator, I want that validation. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Your girl want validation, and what I mean by validation, I want people to be like, yo, that joint is fire. Because you know why I need that sometimes? It's because in the back of my head, I'm telling myself it's trash. Like, I'm telling myself that this product that I just made is trash. So I need someone on the other side of that perspective, like, yo, Whitney, yo, that joint is sick. Like, before I release certain products, sometimes I send it to your friends just to get their validation, so they could be like, yo, Whitney, like, that joint is fire, like, that joint is sick. And then I post it, because then I want the rest of the world to validate your girl. So I can say that any creators that's out there that's going through a space in their journey of feeling like, because they're not the other perspective of that is that because you are a creator, and sometimes you get through this space where you overthinking, you become very stagnated. You become very like, oh, you know what, it's not how I want it to be. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. But child, listen, let me explain. Sometimes you just gotta throw yourself out there, and you gotta be vulnerable. It's that word. Sometimes I want to burn that word. Like, if I could physically light a match and it's like burn that word, I definitely will. But at the end of the day, as creators, we have to be vulnerable, because if we are now, if you kept it to yourself, then child, that's up to you. But if you want people to know what you're doing, what you have to create, all right, there's definitely a little bug trying to run up in here. Do not come up in here. Do not come up in here. Basically what I'm trying to say is that if you want to put yourself out there, you just gotta do it. Like, I know it's like a Nike kind of thing. I know. But that's the honest truth, because that's how I was able to kind of create a lot of things. Like, when I first started my brand, I created the most outlandish thing that you could probably think of, was a wire bow tie. Like, what? You created what? A bow tie out of wire? Like, you know how vulnerable I had to feel to allow people to see that? Because not only that, when I first created it, it was trash. I mean, it wasn't trash. I'm being a little dramatic. But like, the craftsmanship of it was not how I wanted it to be. So by me putting myself out there and seeing people respond, I said, okay, Whitney, just continue to do it, and that, like, keep like putting yourself out there and perfecting your craft. And so for like literally the last like decade of my life, I literally just been perfecting my craft over and over. So my advice for any creators out there, listen, when you first drop something, it may not be the bomb.com. It may not be bomb.com, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, at least put it out there to take the first step, and then, you know, see what people are, you know, responding to, see what people like about it, and then not only that, keep going. Like, even though nobody doesn't respond back, you keep perfecting your craft. Like, with me, even going back to the chair, like, I know this sounds like a weird thing, but I'm scared to draw circles. Like, I'm that sounds so weird, but I'm scared to draw circles. So when I was thinking about this chair, I'm thinking about it in terms of like, Whitney, maybe you could make it to like a square, maybe like a rectangle, you know, maybe like a half a square, like a triangle or something. But then I'm like, Whitney, like, put on your grandma drawers. Put in your grandma drawers. And just do it. Like, Whitney, like, pull out whatever tools you have and just try. Like, don't limit yourself because you're scared of something. So that's what I had to do. Your girl just did it, and the end result was phenomenal. Like, I really love this chair. I know that there's certain parts of it that I still want to tweak on it, but overall I am very happy with it. And this is just a start of like things that I can do going down the line of like not being scared of drawing circles, like designing with circles. So now I have different ideas because I overcame that fear. So that's a word for somebody. Listen, you gotta just put them fears to the side, take that leap, and keep going. Like, bruh, like, that's literally what you have to do. So as a creator, you guys, again, I want to say that you just gotta put yourself out there and keep creating, keep going, no matter what the insecurities are, no matter if you feel like whatever you're working on is trash, whatever you think, child, what you think is trash may be somebody else's treasure, child. That's a word. That is a word. Drop a ball. Boom. Drop a ball. Whatever you think is trash is somebody else's treasure. And that's a word. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. And listen, just keep going. That's the greatest word that I can ever tell anybody. To keep going. If you are breathing, if you are alive, child, that is a sign that you got to keep going. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm going to continue this series for the next couple of weeks. I hope you guys come back. I'm going to be talking about body image, my skin complexion. I'm going to be talking about so many different insecurities, because your girl just, listen, I know that, you know, maybe some people think that I'm the most confident person, but child, listen, your girl be out here struggling. So I want to share that with you guys so that way you guys can get through the hump. Bye. I'll see you guys in the next
Be life.
video.
Be peace.
Be life.
Be wrong.
Alright.
Be strong.
Be bold.
Be black.
Be gold.
Be love.
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 Be